Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another fantastic pinball video for you this evening. This is one we just finished up. This is 1975's Williams Triple Strike pinball machine. Cool bowling theme. It's got great art on it too. I'll show you here in a minute. But this came out in August of '75, and you know that was shortly before they switched over to the solid state games. So one of the last, I don't know, maybe dozen or a couple dozen, I guess, maybe electromechanical machines. So by this time they had kind of figured out how to do everything, you know. So they kind of knew how to design them well, and they were just churning them out. But this is a really cool game. The artwork's fantastic in my opinion. This came out, like I said, in '75, and has a cool bowling theme, and the art has just a fantastic scene on the back glass from a bowling alley that would have been typical in the '70s. And if you've ever been to like an older bowling alley, they look just like this. I mean, it's really, even down to the ball return and everything. It's such a cool back glass. Now, an interesting thing about this is this game was designed by Steve Kordek, who's probably like the most prolific pinball designer of all time. I think he did more games than anybody. I may be wrong, I may be exaggerating, but I honestly think this guy's credited with like designing over 100 pinball machines. I think I've got this right. I believe he came out of retirement to work for Stern and designed Flight 2000 and a couple of those games later on. But he was the man. So there's nothing like incredible special about this one or anything. It's not like an amazing design. It's just a little bowling game. But he's certainly a legend. Now, the artwork is done by Christian Marsh. I don't know how you pronounce his name. It's M-A-R-C-H-E. I believe that's Marsh. Christian Marsh. Now he is most well known. We just did a Williams Stardust. If you didn't see the video of it, he is most well known for his art in the '60s. That is lovingly or hatingly called pointy people art. So you can see on this Stardust, see the girl how her elbows and her fingers and everything are pointy, and this guy, everything's pointy. Some people hate that stuff. They can't stand the pointy people stuff. But that was his kind of trademark, Christian Marsh. Now, this was 1971, and a lot of the ones that he did in the 60s have the pointy people stuff. This is the same guy did this one, but by this time it was 1975. So let's check out the artwork, and you can tell me what you think. Now, you're in a bowling alley, and there's red and white stripes on the ceiling, and of course they've hidden the match numbers up here in the ceiling for at the end of the ball. Just says Williams Triple Strike with a real stylized S there that, you know, fits the 1975 theme. And then up here where the scoring is at the old school bowling alleys is where your score reels are. Now, interesting thing about this is on almost every electromechanical game, the last digit is fake. So that's a fake 0. It never turns. It's just a little metal piece in there with a 0 on it. So you score points 10 at a time. So they just did that to make the score bigger. And then so they had 4 score reels, and then if you get over 100,000 points, they have this little number that lights up on the back glass to add a 1 to it. So they didn't. It saved them the cost of putting another score reel in there. But let's look at the artwork. So it's dominated by this one couple here. So you've got this lady here with her 1975 lime green bell bottoms on, and her nice pink top. And look at the expression on her face. Like I said, this is the same guy that did all the pointy people stuff. This is what he was doing a few years later. Look at the expression on this guy's face. Look how well done that is. Now, I'm no artist, so maybe you're looking at it and you don't think it's all that, but just look at how expressive it is. And then also it has the cleverness that the best back glasses have. So she's looking at somebody who's taking the picture or something, you know. And what's he looking at? He's looking at this girl over here who's getting ready to bowl. Just look how expressive it is with just, you know, comic book style artwork. And then you've got these people bowling here. So you've got this guy. You can't really see what he's done. You've got this guy. He really gave it a fling. You've got this lady back here. This lady here getting ready. This guy, they have a bulb right behind him so that he lights up really bright so you can see it. And this guy here. You've got this guy just sitting here. Right? And then the girl, what is she looking at? I think she's looking at the girl too, you know? Look at the stripes on the shirt. It looks like he did that just really quick, but it's perfect. Like, it just looks great. It's fantastic. Then you've got this guy here. He's sitting with his legs crossed. And then you've got another girl over here. But it just, you know, that's just a 1975 bowling alley scene, right? That must have been exactly how it was. I wouldn't know, I wasn't around. And so it continues down on the playfield. Of course, it's dominated by the lane, you know. So if you look at it, it looks like you're in the same bowling alley. You've got the same red and white stripes and things. And it looks like it's a lane. And so you've got the 10 pins, and there's a rollover switch that you can hit for each pin. And it just sticks up a little tiny bit, and if you roll over it, it triggers that. You got nice bright colors, light greens, and this, whatever that is, bluish green there. But let's check out his artwork on the plastics, right? So very simple line art on this. A couple people just standing, you know, sitting, watching. This guy here looks like he's looking to see if he got a strike or not. This guy here, you're standing behind him, watching him bowl, and you can see the entire lane. All right. And then this guy here, you're seeing him from the front. And so up here, this guy's getting ready to throw, and there's a couple people watching from behind. And then the best plastic is this one on the top right. Look at this. So you've got these two people. I don't know what they're really doing, but you know, they're grabbing the each one of them's grabbing their bowling ball, getting ready to go. They're on opposite sides of the return. But look at their facial expressions. Awesome. That's just so cool. Like, the artwork was excellent on this. And then another interesting thing that I like is, because the playfield is pretty sparse, there's not really much to do, they went with the slightly more fancy pop bumper cap. It's a little different than they usually were. And so the side art on the cabinet, of course, is stenciled. It's just a, you know, cool bowling pins and a bowling ball. There's 3 bowling pins on the top. And of course, the same thing on this side. This this particular game is actually still in very nice shape, with the exception of the front. Somebody scratched the heck out of it right there. I don't know why they did that. Why would you do that to something so beautiful? Now, this operator, a lot of times back in the day, whenever operators would sell a game to someone for their house, their biggest fear was that you would take the game and go put it back out on location and be their competition. So they did not want that, right? So some operators were more paranoid about it than others. But this operator was very paranoid. So what he did was he took everything off the coin door. So all of the coin mechs and everything are missing. So you can't possibly operate this out on location because all of the coin stuff is missing. This actually came from a different operator, and he did the same exact thing. He took all of them off too. So they must have been in cahoots. They must have been telling each other. Triple Strike, copyright 1975, Williams Electronics Inc. This back glass is actually in very nice shape. Usually whenever we get them, they've got problems. This one has, you know, I could pick out a couple little things I could show you, but in general, it's almost perfect. All right, so let's read over the instructions so you can see how to play this thing. I'm sure you probably have a pretty good idea. Oh, there was one little thing. We had to touch up the playfield a little bit because the flipper's a drug right there and right there. So we had to touch it up a little bit. But other than that, the thing was filthy, but it cleaned up really nice. And there wasn't really anything wrong with it. We had a few of the buttons that would stick. We fixed that, but the thing cooperated really nice. It wanted to play. All right. Oh, another thing. It's only a one-player game, so you can only play one game at a time, which, you know, was a cost-saving thing too, because, you know, they didn't have to put all those extra score reels and all that stuff in it. So it has a little bit less equipment in it. However, there's all kinds of stuff hanging on the bottom of the playfield to make all of the 10 pins and all that stuff work. So the playfield is crazy heavy. It probably weighs 80 pounds, something like that, maybe a little more. What was I going to say about the one? Oh, because it's a one-player, they use the same cabinet that they used on their add-a-ball game. So an add-a-ball game, you could win extra balls while you were playing. So you would start with like 3 balls left, and you could add it up to like 8 balls or whatever. I don't know if the Williams ones all worked like that. But if you look very close, this isn't an add-a-ball game, but if you look very close on the back glass, see the numbers behind it that light up? So this says balls to play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you look, it keeps going. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's because they made this where it could be an add-a-ball game too. So this particular one isn't. So you can only play 5 balls on this one. But instead of it starting like the other games where it says ball number 1, it says ball in play. Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4, ball 5. This one says balls to play. So it starts at 5 and then works down. 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can actually win extra balls and things, but it doesn't add a ball on the back glass. So you can't ever go up on the back glass. But sometimes you can win an extra ball at the end of the ball, and if you do, it lights up that red star there. All right, tilt penalty is the ball in play. Tilt does not disqualify a player. So the reason that they mention that all the time is because if you tilt it on some of the older games, whenever you did that, it would actually, you'd lose your whole game. So you'd lose your quarter or whatever. Only 1 extra ball per ball being played, so they're telling you that it's not an add-a-ball. So you can't win. You can't rack up the balls on it. Making the A, B, C, D targets lights the green stars. So they have these big old wide drop targets. A, B, C, D. Those are real similar to the ones that like Chicago Coin used. Oh, so if you get all 4 of those down, it lights these up, which are 1,000 points each when lit. And that's a real common shot from this flipper. It hugs that plastic up there. You get all 3 of them real quick, and you get 3,000 points. Making A, B, C, D targets a second time lights the bottom red star, which is a free ball. Red star, when lit, indicates extra ball. Making top eject hole 3 times lights bottom blue star. All right, so this is a really cool feature. So you've got this hole up here at the top. Lots of games had this. Matahari had it later on. You know, like tons of games have a saucer right there in that same position. So every time you land in there, it adds a number. So the first time you land in there, it lights up to 1. The second time you land in there, it lights up to 2. The third time you land in there, it lights up to 3. So what they're saying is, bloop, making top eject hole 3 times, lights bottom blue star. So the third time you do that, the 3 light stays on. So once the 3 light lights up, it never goes off. It took me a while to figure that out, because if you go in there 4 times, the 4 light comes on, but the 3 light stays on. So it's just weird, but that's how it's wired. But so once you get up there 3 times, it lights this one up. This is the 1. Holds bonus when lit. So you have these bonuses, that basically these strikes here. It will hold it over to the next ball if you've lit that up. So what that means is you get it doubles your bonus. You get to score it twice. Blue star when lit. Holds bonus to next ball. Making top eject hole 5 times, lights bottom rollover lane for special. The special, I think we've set on this one as an extra ball. When a game's on free play in your house, winning a free game isn't as cool, you know, because they're all free anyway. But winning an extra ball for your game, that's kind of cool, you know. So we've got it set on 5 ball. Usually we set them on 3, but this one's so unique, we figured let's do 5. So we've got it set on 5 ball, and you know you're trying to get like a high score, and blah 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 blah, and then you get the special, and it gives you an extra ball. That's kind of cool, you know. It's cooler in a home setting to win an extra ball than it is to win an extra game, in my opinion. Making special lane when lit lights the red star. Just what I was saying. So basically, you lose the ball, but it saves it because you just lit up the red star. Making top eject hole 3 times on the last ball lights both the red star and the blue star. So the last ball, whenever you do the third light, typically on the regular balls it does the holds bonus thing. But if it's the last ball, it does both of them. So you have a little bit better shot at the end on the last ball of getting a free ball. And then we've also got it set up where 85,000 points scores an extra ball, which is kind of easy to do. I just got 118,000 and I wasn't even trying that hard. So we'll play it a little bit and you can see what you think. This thing, it's a pretty simple game really, and it's bowling themed, but who the hell doesn't like bowling? That's fun, right? So I'll set up the tripod and we'll play it a little bit and you can tell me what you think. So I've set up the camera a little higher than we usually do, because when it was down low, because of the reflections, you couldn't see the rollovers very well. So you see the little orange pins. That's kind of like the whole purpose of the game. And also, some of those are tied together. There's a little plug inside the game. This is secret stuff that they never told people on location, you know. There is a plug inside the game where you can change the difficulty. And so depending on where that plug is placed inside the game, there's like it's a Jones plug like I've shown you whenever we're cleaning them. Depending on where it's plugged in, different things happen. So basically what it does on this game is it ties some of the switches together. So if I hit 7, it also hits 10. And if I hit 8, it also hits 9. And if I hit 4, it also hits 6. And I think if I hit 2, it hits 3, or 1 and 5's tied together, or something like that. So it makes it a lot easier. So you don't have to get all 10 pins. You just have to get 5 or 6 of them. And then if it was too easy, like if the operator wasn't making enough money and people were winning free games too much, the operator could move the plug and now none of them are connected. Or now maybe only 7 and 10 are connected. So it's just a way to control the difficulty. But we've got it loose, baby. And also, on games, this is minor stuff, but it makes a big difference. This post right here and this post right here have a relationship together. Basically, if they're set up like this, so they're underneath this post and underneath that post, there are 3 holes. So there's 1, 1, 1. If you put it in the highest hole and you put this one in the highest hole, it's got the same thing. Basically what you're doing is, so there's a space between the two posts, you're moving it up. So what that effectively does is it makes the ball go out the out lane more than the in lane. If you move them both down, so like if this one's all the way down and this one is all the way down, you've moved it this way, so it makes the ball go in the in lane more. And you can do that on both sides. It's kind of counterintuitive because you might think if you put this one high and this one low, it'll mean you lose the ball less, but it's not like that. If you put this one high, you're blocking off this lane a little bit more. So they either go up or down. So we've got them down so that the ball will go in the in lane more. There's just little stuff like that, and it always goes over it in the manual. So read the manual, people. Read the freaking manual. One other thing to say, this game, usually they had a metal back door, but this one was missing the back door, and they don't make these new, so we made a back door out of wood. We painted it and everything looks great. But because it's got a wood back door, it's thicker, so you don't hear the chimes as much. So the chimes are a little more muted than you might be used to. All right. So one of the biggest things you want to go for on this game is that top saucer right there that I almost made it in. And you'll see as I roll over the bowling pins how other ones turn off. Oh! So we got 10,530 on it wasn't even a very good ball, really. Ah! Here we go with this left out lane stuff again. This one's not like that, folks. That's just a coincidence. Ooh. Whoop. It hit it a little early there. Alright, so say I got the X because I knocked down all 10 pins. Alright, so we're up to 40,000. You kind of want to go in that top saucer as much as possible. I'm hoping I can get it going kind of quick for you here. This thing actually plays very fast at times. Lost it on the bounce. Now remember when we were reading the instructions, this last ball is a little bit easier because if you get, I think if you get up to 3 on here, it gives you a free ball and it holds the bonus for that free ball and all this. So if I can get in there 3 times, there's one. Let's go for it. Let's try it. I'm gonna just keep. Oh, they did me wrong, people. But guess what? Since we own it, it's on free play. It'll be all right. That's one. I should have done better than that. So that's one. Barely got that one. Oh! Well, that one drop target still up there just mocking me. Look at it. to popcorn. All right, last ball. I want to get some stuff going here so y'all can see what this thing's like. That's pretty good. Well, I want to get that drop target. There we go. Didn't get it enough, people. All right, we got up to 52,000 that time, but you know what I think? I think we're getting better. Let's play it again. I'm gonna keep trying to just go for the saucer at the top. The bowling pins will kind of take care of themselves if you keep flipping. You know, I mean, you're gonna hit them. So let's go for that saucer. Ooh. I don't really want to nudge it too much because I've got the camera right behind it, and I'm always afraid I'm gonna knock the camera over if I start getting too crazy with it. But some of this you could probably save. That counted. Ooh. Oh, I thought that was all of them. I didn't see Mr. C there. Three balls left. There we go. So that lit all my green stars. And all I need is that middle. There we go. Oh. So we got a little bit of a bonus. Two balls left. Ooh, saved it. Get the other one now. Nope. My flipper shoe has a little crack in it. I have to mess with that a little bit. All right. Oh yeah, it's the last ball. So I've got the red star, so it's actually going to save that ball for me. And it held the bonus over, but I didn't really have a bonus. But I guess it held the pins. So I'm at 72,000. If I can get to 85,000, I win another ball anyway. Oh, they stole it from me, people. They stole it from me. All right, we're going to play one more game. We got to 82,000. I'm getting better as time goes on. Even with the flippers messed up. There's a little piece of plastic chipped on it. I don't know if you can see it. see that? Right down the middle. Twice, right down the middle. I might have to start bumping it. Oop. Man. I didn't give it a nice flip that time. My flip was weak. Don't be a weak flipper, people. All right, last ball. Slid it right by me. All right, I'm gonna play one last game. I didn't get a high enough score. I want to get a really good score if I'm on video, you know. Oop. Oh. All right, so we got 11,000. We got a long way to go, people, if I'm going to light up my one. I got to do better than that. Oh. I'm going to start shaking it. 18,000. I'm regressing. Oh, one thing about it is we always put the play foot a little steep, which makes it a little harder to land in saucers. But I like it like that. That's what I like. I need some points here, people. My strategy of shooting for the saucer is not helping me much. Oh! All right, so this is the last ball. I am at 36,000. If I can win an extra ball, I might be able to roll it. So that's once. See how they did me? All right, we got to play another game. We got to play another game. I didn't get a good enough score. Oh, come on. Come on. Work with me now. So I got 10,000 first ball. Whoa. 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slid it right by me. All right, so I'm up to 22,000. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, it's better than the last game. Oh, look, I doubled up because I slid out of the saucer, so it counted it twice. If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing, people. Everybody knows that. Nothing wrong with that. Come on, baby. Go in the damn saucer. Slid it right by me. All right, 31,000. Again, not bad. I got 2 balls left. Got robbed on it. Got robbed, people. All right, so last ball. Okay, there's my Oh, they threw it right by me. All right, well, I tried, people. As you can see, it's a very fun game. I've got a little chip on the, there, look, the plastic has messed up on the, look on the shoe, see it? So I was doing all that with a messed up flipper, people. I'm gonna have to replace that now. I'm gonna have to turn the lights back on. So there you have it. That is Williams Triple Strike. A very fun game. We've been playing it all day. Some people were just in here. They're probably the ones that chipped my little flipper. I might have to track them down. But it's a very fun game. Has great artwork. I love how it lights up. And it's one of those ones that you just want to play over and over again for an EM. You know, it's a very simple game. Not much to it, but I like it a lot. This is one of my favorite Williams EMs, I believe, that we've ever had. Now, by the time you see this video, we may not have it available for sale anymore. It may have bowled off to someone else's game room. But you can see all the games that we do have available for sale right now by going to our website. Go to lionsarcade.com. Now, if you want to come by and see us, we're in downtown Rock Hill, which is about 15 miles south, Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is about 15 miles south of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we've got a showroom full of arcade games at all times and a few pinball machines. They usually sell pretty quick, though. Now, if you don't want to buy one and you don't want to come by because you live in India or something and you're nowhere near us, that's fine. Just subscribe to us, and every time we get in one of these cool games, it will alert you that we put up a new video. Leave your comments below, and make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. And we will see you on the next video. Triple Strike.